Right, let's very quickly run through the next UFC card. This one is highlighted with a women's bout. Chris Cyborg and Lena somebody or other who I've never heard of. 16-1 versus 6-1. I wonder whether this is a squash match. I don't know the other one enough to be able to tell that. But there we are. The next match, Renan Barrero and Felipe Nova. Felipe Nova, a bit of a blast from the past. Not sure he's really done a lot to be this high up the card, but there we are. Renan Barrero definitely has. You'll remember him with the championship in past times. 35-4 versus 12-6. I think Renan Barrero will probably win this one. Although I have to say that on the ground, Felipe Nova, according to statistics, has a better chance of finishing. So it will probably be a decision, but there we are. The next match, Roy Nelson and Antonio Silva. I feel like this is sort of like a match that has happened like 15 times already. I don't know if it has, but you know, it's always two big fellows together when it comes to these, and there's only a limited number of them. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is a rematch. Without looking, I wouldn't know. They're ranked 11th and 15th respectively. Roy Nelson will probably win, but I hope Antonio Silva wins instead. Francisco Trinaldo and Paul Felder. You know, Francisco is got a good record here, 20-4. But Paul Felder has a reasonable record as well, 12-2. And the thing about Francisco is he's a bit of a decision king, whereas Paul Felder is probably going to look for a finish on the feet. I think I might go with Paul Felder there. Some people might consider that a bit of an underdog pick, but I don't think so. Thiago Santos and Eric Spicely. Thiago Santos is, according to this, rated 15th. 13-4, whereas the other guy 8-2 and isn't ranked. I shall go, I think, for Thiago Santos, but if anybody cares, this could well be one of those fights that is groundsman versus striker, with Thiago Santos on the feet. Godofredo Pepe and Mike De La Torre. I think Godofredo Pepe will probably win this one. But there we are. Gilbert Burns and Michael Prazeres. I would go for Gilbert Burns on that one. 11-1 is his record versus 20-2 for Michael Prazeres, but I don't know that much about him. And I have to say, his main area of winning, according to this, is by decision. Whereas Gilbert Burns is sort of more or less almost totally submission. It's 64%. So I'm hoping that he'll be able to do that. Rani Yaha and Mikinori Tanaka. 22-8 versus 11-1. Rani Yaha has been around since the dawn of time. In terms of fighting, he goes way back into WEC. Way back into WEC. And he's made a little bit of a comeback, I think, recently. The good thing about this is both of them are submission finishers according to statistics. 0% for both of them on the feet, 77% and 45% submission. So it's going to be a ground war. Should be interesting. I hope that Rani Yaha wins that one. Josia Formiga and Dustin Ortiz, ranked 3rd and 12th. So I suppose Josia Formiga should probably win that one. Don't really know, to be totally honest. Eric Silva and Luan Chargas. Well, interestingly enough, they have matched Eric Silva, who is big into finishing on the ground, with somebody else that's a submission fighter, at least on paper here. So that will be interesting, but I would still go for Eric Silva there. And the undercard, Alan Patrick versus Stevie Ray. I don't really know. I hope that Stevie Ray wins this one, but I wouldn't be confident. Vincent Leque and Hector Urbina. Again, this one I'm not really too sure of either. No, I don't know. And the last one, Glacchio Franca and Gregor Gillespie. And guess what? Don't really know this either, except for the fact that Gregor, despite the fact he doesn't have a picture, does have a perfect record of 7, and does seem to be reasonably, it's 43% for both stand-up and submission in terms of finishes here. But the other guy is 14-4. So records there. I just don't know if the other guy has faced sort of calibers that are, you know, going to damage that perfect 7 or not really. I am not as up to date with the little people in this now. This is a fight night card, so they're almost sort of unknown, some of them. Having said that, there are quite a lot of names on this card, names that I recognise, names that people may not think are necessarily brilliant or at the top of the game now, but people I do recognise, people that if they make a good performance of this, it could be a very good, it could actually be a very good pay-per-view, a Brazilian no less. So there we are, that is my predictions for this event.